Vicki Lee Jones and Maurice Stallard were murdered at a Kroger's in Kentucky. But for a shockingly long time, their black lives did not matter to me. How do you optimistically science that? Shalom, beloved sibling. It is I, Aaron Freeman, not a scientist, but a sciencey optimist. If you enjoy my videos, please take a moment to like the Sciencey Optimist on Facebook. And if you're watching on YouTube, please click the little subscribe button and then click the little bell so that you will be alerted to all the upcoming sciencey optimism. So it is fascinating to contemplate how is it that I, a genuine, certified, card-carrying American Negro, could have been more or less oblivious and or indifferent to the deaths of two, not just African Americans, but African Americans of my own generation that occurred very recently and did get coverage in the news. I try to science it, which is to figure out what questions I can ask myself that will help me better understand my own reaction. One is timing. The shooting occurred within a big clamorous period of high-profile threats to important people, famous people, Barack and Michelle Obama, Maxine Waters, and all people whose names I knew and whose faces I had looked at. So to me, famous black lives did matter. When news broke of the Kroger shooting, I remember seeing it and thinking, okay, and just leaving it at that. Then within a couple days, the MAGA bomber was himself apprehended, and just as I was digesting that news came the synagogue shooting, which set off a tsunami of memories and cultural historical reverberations within my Ashkenazic Jewish community. The scienciest I can get about it has to do with the quality of the human mind identified by Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman and his partner Amos Tversky. They talk about the availability heuristic. The availability heuristic basically says that we are more likely to respond to events that correlate with ideas or events or images that are in our faces that are currently at top of mind, or events that are of great dramatic import. Threats to famous people and threats that bring up images of Germany in 1933 meet those criteria. To be honest, another and certainly the least noble of the reasons that I paid so little attention to the killings of Vicki Lee Jones and Maurice Stallard is that I have been viewing everything in the news over the past month within the context of the upcoming midterm elections. Does it affect who will control the Congress? How does it impact the public perception of President Birther? This is not cool. This is a distortion of my own personal priorities, but as I try to think about it honestly, that's where I am at. So, the optimistic part is, as I was posting just the other day about the synagogue shooting, an African-American friend of mine, Al McGee, who has a very interesting and cool channel called Your Entertainment Ticket, called me out on Facebook and asked me why I was posting about the synagogue shooting and not about the deaths of African Americans. He began his critique of my post with the words Black Lives Matter, demonstrating that even when mainstream/legacy media don't take certain stories as seriously, and even when my own overloaded senses block certain things out, and even when my own political priorities get in the way of the better angels of my nature, my friends via social media can bring me back to stories and perspectives that are also important and that I do not wish to just let slide. Social media has all kinds of problems, but in this case at least, it helped this African American to remember that Black Lives Matter. Thank you immensely much for watching, beloved sibling. I hope you will like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you know who might themselves enjoy some sciencey optimism. I am Aaron Freeman, not a scientist, but a sciencey optimist, hoping that you have a compassion-filled time as you continue to science the day.